Hi there. My name is Paige Dickey. I'm a member of the Philbrook Resident Artist Program at Tulsa Opera, and today I'm going to be sharing with you warm-ups for the female voice. Here we go. The overview of what we're doing today. So, to get all warmed up, ready to sing pretty much anything, here are the things that I concentrate on. I want a physical warm-up of my body. I want to concentrate on my breath. I want to isolate the registers of the voice, starting with the middle, then high, then low, then put the voices back together, then find my maximum vocal resonance, and then practice some flexibility in the voice. So that's what we're going to be doing today. All right, in a physical vocal warm-up, you need your body to be ready to sing too. It's not just your voice, because your voice is a part of your body, right? So whenever you're ready to go in for a lesson or sing or do anything, you need to make sure that your body is awake, and to do that in the best way that you can find and that's fun for yourself. So just make sure you don't roll out of bed and then go to a lesson or go to sing somewhere, because you're not going to be your best. Take a walk, jog, dance around. And then after you're there, after you're just a little loose, then make sure that you stretch your body, right? So I sing from my whole body. When I mean that, I sing all the way from my toes to my nose, even further than that. So make sure that whenever you do warm up, that you're going to stretch out, you're going to stretch out your legs, you're going to do some toe touches. It might sound over the top, but I cannot emphasize enough how much better you are when you can be grounded in yourself. If you want to go off in another way, I've been trained a lot in Alexander technique, and I think that's really helpful into me being a singer. So anyways, after you've stretched, you want to concentrate on your head, neck, and shoulders, right? We don't want to hold tension there. So easy stretches for that. Stretching from one side, gently, to the next, to the front, ever so gently to the back, going from side to side. Right? Make sure that your shoulders are released as well. It's a really great place in singing that we like to hold tension. So isolating one shoulder from the next. Making sure you can feel each part, that it's not, anything is not all jammed up together. Cool. Find comfort in your stance or in however you're singing. Make sure that you have good posture, right? Now, good posture doesn't mean locked. Good posture means that your body is in a physical way to be best. So that is actually a really released, nice way. So your feet are on the ground, obviously, but your feet are squarely planted in the ground, that your hips are released, and whenever I sing, I want to be able to feel like I could do a squat at any time. That might sound a little silly, but try it. And if you are standing and you're about to sing and you can't do a squat at a second notice, then probably your hips are all locked out and you're just holding so much tension. So find a way to release that tension. And as it states in the slide, chest up, but shoulders relaxed. Shoulders relaxed. None of this right here. All right, so after your body is ready to go, let's get to the voice, what we're really talking about. I always start in the middle range of the voice. Now, in a female voice, we don't want there to be specific pockets, right? We're not going to have like total gear changes whenever we talk about the voice, but we do have overlapping, like almost a Venn diagram of things. So the mid voice is what we start off with first, since it's the easiest place to be and it's kindest to the voice. And in being kind to the voice, I like to start off with lip trills. Lip trills, I think, are the easiest way to ensure good air support while also producing sound. So if you look at the exercise that I have listed right here, we're just going up and down a 5-note pattern on a lip trill. Moving up by half step. Now, make sure you're not trying to make a lot of sound here. You're just trying to get going, and get the air support going, but we're not trying to impress anyone. We're just trying to be easy and kind to the voice. And if you notice, I did put in the notes as well, don't go that high, right? And I put around from a D4 to about an E, right? So don't go up into the staff. Don't go up and over the stratosphere. This is just to get moving and to make sure things are going right. Now, some people like to do breath support. Before they sing at all, I like to go back a little bit. So after we've done that one vocal exercise, now we're going to just check that our breath is where we want it to be for the day. I think the most important aspect of the breath is the inhalation, taking the air in without any tension, or as least amount of tension as possible. So in doing so, I like to call it, or what I've been taught as well, is a mouth-nose breath, where the vast majority of the air is coming through the mouth, but the nasal cavity is open. So that being said, that sometimes just that works for something. Oh, that makes sense. Also, it should feel like the first half of a yawn or taking a glass of water. Right? When you take a really nice, and just, did you hear the voice change in me, that it was open and it had a little bit higher pitch to it, and it was right, because it opens and is free, and it makes sound easier. Everything we're doing is to make sound easier. So in this breath, in taking time to realize your breath, just take a few breaths, make sure that they're in that open place, ready to sing. Check in your body again and make sure that you're nice and released. Whenever I'm breathing well, I'm going to breathe all the way to my lower back. So I can place my hands on my lower back. And make sure that is expanding all the way down to there. I do not want my shoulders to raise. If your shoulders raise in breathing and singing, that's very superficial. You're not chest up, breathing right here. You take a breath and it expands low. There's so much more to be done with breathing, but this is what I would want for a daily checkup. All right, now to check our breathing, one of my favorite breathing exercises is through panting. So in panting, we're pulsing air, just like a dog, that it's out, 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 out. And I want that out to not occur from my chest or from my throat, but from my gut. So you should feel like Santa Claus when you do this. I like to put my hands right on my belly button or even a little bit lower. And then I sing this tune. Then this exercise goes like this. He, hey, ha, ho, ooh. Right? So still, we're not making big sound. We're doing this in the middle of the voice. But we're just getting that air flowing from the low support mechanism. He, hey, ha, ho, ooh. He, hey, ha, ho, ooh. I love this exercise so much. It feels really weird at first, but the more that you do this exercise, the more air support you build up. It's really, really beneficial. All right, now we're going back to mid-voice. Using the same vowel pattern that we just did, we are now going to, make them into legato instead of a staccato or a panting faction. We're going to take away that aspirate H and just try to find some more fluid in the voice, but the same pattern, in the same range. Right? So now you borrow from all that air support that you just did on the panting exercise. Really simple. We're making sure that everything lines up from one to the next, not making a lot of sound, but concentrate on the air support in the mid-range. Don't get too high, don't get too low, stay in the comfortable spot. Once we've really warmed up to this, then we can start getting higher. Head voice, here we go. So in head voice, we've now used all this air support and we're just gonna build upon that. But we're now gonna focus on a little bit more buoyancy to get up there. So we're gonna start off with this first exercise. You can feel a little bit like an owl, right? And we're going to start off in the mid voice. So I'm gonna be right here. My high note is an A, and I'm going to be on staccato on the way down. Keeping it light. I don't have any extra air behind the voice, just right on top of it. Moving up by half step. Notice the higher that I get, the less I care about the real integrity of that ooh vowel. That it was pretty much an ah by that last note was a B flat. Right? So I don't need to have it be, that's really hard to produce that dark of that closed of a vowel on that high of a note. So modify it to your heart's content. All right, so now, ooh, that really opens up this, creating that owl shape though, ooh, opens a soft palate in a really lovely fashion. And we want to hold on to that for the remainder of warm-ups. Now we're going to go to a simple triad up and down. I like to do on a paw, get that nice out there, nice and bright, and you take this as high as you want to. So starting off, and we're not going to go all the way, we're not going to ever start these high exercises super low. That's not going to get us where we want to. So start them in the middle of the voice. I'm starting on D above middle C. Pa 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 pa, 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 pa 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 pa. Making sure the higher that we get, we don't let the shoulders rise, and we concentrate on really allowing the support to take care of us on the bottom, right? So almost the higher I want to get, the more I have to think about releasing those shoulders. Not a C today. That high note was a high C, and it didn't happen right now. But keeping it nice, light, and easy. And then I'm not going to force anything out, right? So right now, I don't have a high C right now today. Oftentimes I should, and I do, but I'm not going to now like squelch and try to make that happen. I'm going to be kind to myself and just keep going. Going back to here though, let's just see a little bit more. Was I maintaining all the lightness and brightness and buoyancy needed in the head voice? Really finding all that that we had a moment ago. Better. All right? So go to your extreme, but don't overshoot it, right? So today, I don't have a high C. So most days, if I warm up to a high E, I'm not right now going to ignore that and try to keep singing whenever I don't have it. And I think it's because I'm just talking a lot. So no worries. All right, we've done head voice. Now let's go back. Not go back, but let's move on to low voice. Whenever in warm-ups, if I need to like loosen it up again, I'll just go back to lip trills for a millisecond. Releasing it. All right, so low voice for females. The biggest thing we want to do is remember the tone that we want to have, right? So as you get lower, especially in classical music, you don't want to add a lot of weight to the voice. Make sure that your sound is continuing from high to low. So yes, it is chest. Yes, we'll get a little bit of chest in there, but especially in classical singing, we don't need to let the chest come through, right? We're going to gently go low, but not over darken. Air support. We're going to relax our jaw as if in a yawn. Ah, yeah. And the exercise goes like this. Now, if you notice, I do not need to move my jaw or my lips or anything after I have the initial ya. I have isolated all movement just to my tongue, to the middle of my tongue. I'm even keeping the tip of my tongue at the back of the bottom of my teeth. Ya. So if this is all nice and loose, then I can concentrate on the steady flow of air and just ease in the sound. Not going to get too heavy. Right? And that's as low as today as I can keep it, and in maintaining the sound that I want for my classical singing. So in opposition to this, what I'm saying is don't flip into an over chest voice. That's not going to do you any good in most classical singing. Even as a mezzo, if you are a mezzo, you don't want to over darken, right? You want to allow your voice to be where it wants to be comfortably, but you're not going to add a sheen, an inauthentic darkening to the tone. Keep it in line. And also, I just went down to a low F. That might be exceptionally low, especially for a high schooler. So it's all about what you can do comfortably, and things will build as long as you follow these rules of not overstretching or over darkening. So if your low note is a B right below middle C, that's fine. That's totally fine. If you approach it with a light and connected manner, it's going to be just fine, and it'll build from there. Now, connecting our voices back together. Like I said before, we don't want to think about them being like distinct chunks, but we do realize that if we concentrate on, the heart of each of those voices, it does help. But then we want to put them back together. And we put them back together by using sirens and large leaps, such as octaves. So do a few sirens. Notice in my siren, I want to have as much connection from the next down to back down. That word made sense. So don't let there be any jumps. Also, use your hands for whatever you want to do. This is all about you. I use lots of warm-ups and things when I'm doing it. Do it. I think it helps. Cool. After sirens, doing an exercise with an octave. The same general idea. So here's a simple one. I love to sing. Really making sure that everything is connected. I'm going to use the consonants to my advantage, and I'm not going to land harshly on any pitch. I love to sing. I love to sing. I love to sing. See right there, I noticed there was a distinct hit from the octave to the fifth. I love to to sing better. Check yourself as you go. Don't just do warm-ups just to say, oh, I did them. Like, really make sure that you're listening and you're feeling the sensations as you go along. That's how you really get better. I love to sing. I love to sing. I love to sing. I love to sing. Right? And so that B flat is not a problem right now because I've warmed up all the way to it. So if those started sounding like they went really fast, I did. I was moving by whole step instead of half step. So if you're in a hurry, that's a really good tool. You can still get an excellent warm up. Just don't move by whole step instead of half step. All right, so we've connected things together. Now, please make sure that you know that I'm only doing like a few examples of these. I could probably spend at least like 3 minutes on each exercise. A good warm up for me is probably 15 to 20 minutes. And right now I'm talking through it all, so be patient. All right, so now we've warmed up the voice, and I've talked so much about don't make too much sound, don't make too much sound. Be kind to yourself, be easy, working from the middle out. And now we're, instead of forcing sound, we're gonna find more sound through the mask resonance. This is what I live for. Whenever we sing, especially in classical music, we want to make the most sound with the most ease, right? How many times can I say that? Our mask, unlike masks right now, the masks in singing are found right here. I'm talking about trying to feel resonance in our sinus cavities a little bit, in our nose, behind our eyes. I want to focus on my sound going here. Starting to sing based on sensation, not on sound. Cool. For me, the easiest way to find this in warm-ups is to go from an NG sound. It's the nastiest sound you can make. And now that sound, it's not particularly loud, but it's really buzzing everything behind my eyes. And then I'm going to open up that sound to the most closed, strident, it's not the most closed vowel, but it's the most strident vowel we have, which is E. Right? And you're going to get a lot of sound. So do not leave the first note on the NG until you find the resonance. And then as you move down the scale, maintain that feeling. You can start making a lot of fun sounds. Now, I'm not pushing the voice. I'm not making huge sounds here by pushing my voice like a shot put. I'm really trying to have a really steady stream of air that the mask, the resonance, and the overtones are taking care of the sound for me. It is vital, right? And side hint, this is the exact same way that you get a good mixed belt, is you follow the same path. You don't quite allow the throat to open up as much, but this is the same way to get that. Different world, but don't scream in singing, ever. Flexibility, last part of warm-ups. So we've done the basics of everything, and all that's left is to make sure that you can sing some stuff that's fast, right? Almost everything else before this, we've had some staccato in our high notes. But now you have to make sure that you can actually sing fast on its own with all the added benefits of having a completely open and warmed up range. So I will mess up if I try to play this right here live, but notice that we're going up the scale, up and over, back down. Brilliant. I can do it on ah first. Ah. Notice right off the bat is my personal inclination that I must click to make sure that I'm not rushing through this, that I'm having a lot of integrity to these runs. And I can move up my half step. Right? And try some different vowels. And you can try them with articulations, right? So let's do, I'm going to do di. I lost a little bit of integrity on the way down. Let's try it again. Cool. So just like that, be honest with yourself. Make sure you know where you're going. Don't overlook things and warm up because you are making you better in this moment. You're not trying to impress anyone. You are gaining the skills. All right, so that's a flexibility exercise. A little added thing, my favorite flexibility exercises are actually these etudes. If you play an instrument, if you've ever done small district or anything, etudes are normally for instruments that are really complicated. They're complicated songs, but the purpose is mostly for technique, right? You're not just going to listen to etudes for fun as an audience member, but it's a technical skill to have. So there's vocal etudes. Here's my hard copy of it. It's really old. See the cover's coming off, but I really like. They're by the composer Lutgen, and all they are is they are vocalises. So here it is, but then I went ahead and copy pasted. This is the first half of the first exercise. And so they are flexibility, most of them are flexibility exercises that instead of now just doing, instead of doing that for 5 minutes, I can do a tune instead that's going to accomplish the same thing. And there are, oh goodness, in the daily exercises, there's 20 of them. So you can have all the fun in the world. The first one I've done forever, and I love it. For a flexibility exercise, that's you can sing like a tune. So just for example, here's the first one. I'm going to check myself right here, right now. What did I do well? What did I not? I think my onset was good. I kept my tongue mostly nice and released to the back of the bottom of my teeth with a nice off. Could have been a little bit brighter, but it was okay. I noticed that on the jump down in the second system, I really let that fall a little bit, right? So that's what we're talking about, low voice. Make sure that low voice is a part of the voice. Don't let it dip down and be all husky when you get down there. So let's try that one more time again. This time I'm really focusing on that nice air support we talked about earlier, kind of going through all the things that we worked on, and this puts it together in this little tune. So once more. And I felt better about that. I know that was in one voice. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it's a help. Everyone has their own individual voice, but these are some really great basics to get started with. Have a wonderful day. Thanks.